Perfect. Can you hear me and see me?
Yes, we can hear you, we can see you. And yeah, when you tap present, I guess we can also see yeah, perfect.
Right. Perfect. Cool. So I want to present to you today MentorMe. MentorMe is a marketplace type app designed to easily connect users with mentors through a matching algorithm. To keep it simple for the sake of this presentation, think of it a little bit like a Tinder to find a mentor. So in today's presentation, I'm going to walk you through the full product lifecycle process. So starting with the problem and then analysis of the market and the competition. Then we'll have a little bit of a look at the user experience and then the business and go-to-market strategy. But first of all, I just want to present you a little bit the story. So on average, a person spends 1/3 of their life working. It's a bit depressing. Another third you spend sleeping. And so when you think about it, we spend a lot of time at work. For most professionals, our objective is to have kind of a fulfilling career with progression. And having a mentor has been identified as a productive way to do this, as it's an opportunity to kind of connect with people who can inspire you and challenge you to grow. As you can see by this slide as well, I mean, mentorship also has other additional benefits, such as boosting representation of underrepresented groups and employee retention. So this brings me to my problem. If everybody agrees with me, and 76% of people think mentors are important, but actually only 37% reported to have ever had one. And so this led me to my problem statement, which is individuals would like to tap into the knowledge and guidance of other working professionals, but they don't actually know where to find them. And so from this, I decided to do a little bit of market research to see what was out there already. The good findings are that first, mentorship platforms already exist. So if anything, this proves that there's the demand there for them. However, those that do exist are quite varied in terms of their USP, their target market, and the revenue models that they have. So for example, if I take LinkedIn, which when I did a survey was kind of the most cited platform for where people would go to look for a mentor, it's true that LinkedIn has the user base that a mentorship app would want, but LinkedIn's USP is not specifically for connecting mentors and mentees, in the sense that it doesn't have like a matching algorithm, it doesn't have a scheduling software. And then if we move over to this other one, it's ADP List. This is a fairly new one. It was started in the pandemic. It's probably the most similar to MentorMe in terms of the functionality. It's basically an online platform specifically to connect designers with mentees. And then the differentiator though is in terms of its revenue model. At the moment, it's completely free. This might change, but at the moment of this presentation, it's completely free. I saw today that they've just kind of had a big investment round, and so at some point they will establish kind of a financing model for them. The other two here are Pushfar and Fuel 50. Both of them are more B2B focused in terms of creating custom-made mentorship models for companies. So they do have the one-on-one side, but their actual revenue model is based more on B2B mentoring. There's another one here, Preply, which you probably think looks a bit out of place here. The reason I've put it into this chart is because Preply, for those that don't know, is a language learning platform that is a marketplace platform that connects teachers with students. So I've actually used this as the model for MentorMe and would consider it a competitor if Preply ever changed their scope and decided to expand outside just language learning. So I also did a little bit of user research and tried to find out what people would look for in terms of a mentorship app. It was interesting to notice that people are moving away from online learning and they would be interested in having both in-person and online. I asked a little bit about matching functions, and if people were in general 50-50 in terms of whether they want to be automatically paired or manually paired with a mentor. And last but not least, I wanted to kind of debug this myth that like one size fits all in terms of people having one mentor and they would just use them for the same thing. And so there was a general interest in having multiple mentors. So just as a recap really quickly, there is no pre-existing mentorship platform with a marketplace revenue model. And I wanted to focus on online and in-person options, multiple mentors, and possibly consider having this AI matching tool. So the user experience. Obviously, being a marketplace, there's two different user groups I can consider. There's the mentors and there's the mentees. For the purpose of this presentation, I focus in on the mentees, and actually I'm just going to focus in on one of these. So we have Maria, she's 31. She's the aspiring product manager. She's probably sitting in this Zoom call right now. As an aspiring product manager, she would like to connect with other existing product managers in Barcelona to learn more about the field. And on that, I'm going to show you my, can you see my screen still? Yeah. So this is the journey, well, the prototype for Maria. Basically, she would join the app. This would be the different preferences that she would choose for the app. A few people in the user survey, they also suggested that they wanted mentorship in their own language. After that, you would then select which skill you would be interested in learning. And then from there, you would be given kind of 3-4 different options. And so if we go back to Maria, she was looking for someone that could teach her about product management based in Barcelona. The closest match we have is Alba. She's a product manager. She's in Sant Cugat, but it's 20 kilometers away. And so from there, she would swipe and there would be a mentor match. And basically from there, she can say hello or book directly in terms of scheduling with her. There is more features in that, but to get it to the payment part, but just to keep it simple, I stuck to that. And let's go back to present. So you're probably like, cool, this sounds great, but how are you going to make any money from it? So let's just go to the last part, which is the business strategy. So I identified 3 different potential revenue streams for this product. The first one, and the one I really wanted to focus on, is actually commission on mentors' earnings. And so if we take, for example, the Preply model, you would basically charge a share of the hourly price set, which could be set at something like 18 to 33%. And obviously this would change. It would decrease the more the mentor uses the product. A second one would be a B2B subscription model, quite different from the B2B subscription model that I mentioned with the competitors, because the idea would be that actually companies pay a corporate membership so that their employees can access the app, but then the experience would be the same for that user and just any other kind of individual user. And last but not least, I put advertising because it's a marketplace. And from what I see, marketplaces typically have advertisements or paid listings that are displayed in the app. So I put that as a third revenue model. But just focusing on that first one, if I want to look at my kind of like go-to-market strategy, so this would be like a year 1 plan. The idea would be to kind of build that MVP with the basic functionality and then really hone in on the user acquisition. So growing out your database by offering kind of early bird sign-up options, referral rewards, all the kind of R metrics that we learned about. From there, launching the app, learning about how people are interacting with it. So kind of conducting different cohort analysis of people that are joining the app. And then last but not least, obviously the end goal would be to get someone to invest in this. But what I've tried to identify is like, it was supposed to be 1 North Star metric, but it ended up being 2 because I couldn't decide which one was more important. But the number of transactions per month. So this actually, because there's only 1 revenue model, it would be like monthly recurring revenue, and then the number of monthly active users. And this would be able to tell me, so this I've identified as somebody who's entered in the app in the last 30 days. And so on this, I would be able to get a sense of the product, the actual technical product, if it's working. And then the MRR would be able to determine if people are actually willing to pay for this type of service. And that's it. Thanks.
Congrats, very impressed with the everything. Anyone would like to ask some question or provide some feedback?